Matt, and welcome to the channel. It's really good to have you on here, and thank you for taking the time.
It's a pleasure to be on here.
Yeah, I would say let's get right into it, right into the interesting stuff a lot of people want to talk about. I remember you were actually one of the first people who, joined like Grow Creatives last year. I think it was before we even came up with the name for it. And so yeah, we started working together in like beginning of 2023 or so. And can you kind of tell people like where you were at that time, and like what were you doing? I think you were already editing, but yeah, what were you doing? What were some of the main problems you were facing, and then kind of like how your journey went after that?
Well, I wasn't making any money at the time when I started coaching, taking coaching from you, and yeah, like I was joining the Discord group calls, and it was like the first time I was ever introduced to like making money online at all. So I was completely new to everything, and I was joining the calls listening to like people making 4K, 5K, even 10K a month. Like now it seems like so much less than it did at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was basically just an editor. So like I had no agency, and I was trying to turn into an agency. Like at first I did Facebook ads, like Iman Gaji, Facebook ads, like everyone does that. But then I transitioned to kind of like a content agency.
Why did you end up switching from the Facebook ad agency to this one instead?
Because I knew nothing about Facebook ads, and I already was an editor.
So it just
like
made sense, kind of.
Yeah, like so to those who are like considering starting an agency, you don't, especially now, Facebook ads is going to be extremely difficult. Everyone does Facebook ads. There's like tons of agencies out there. So I just thought that I wanted to be different, and I already had experience editing, and I already had experience with making thumbnails. So I just decided to make that my agency model. And I also heard, like, I saw a clip of Iman saying you could even do a YouTube thumbnail agency, so just doing YouTube thumbnails. So I thought I could just combine that and make a full like YouTube offer, so where we run people's YouTube channels done for you. And
that's kind of what we did as well, right? In the coaching, like we help you once you had the idea to start this kind of an agency. Like Greg and I were already running that, so we helped you kind of like really dial in the offer, right, and come up with the pricing, deliverables, the angles, all of that stuff.
Yeah. So I was always big into like buying, education, buying courses. So I did like originally start off by buying Iman's course, but then I was like, it's kind of only for Facebook ads, like the content. And this was a long time ago, and it was just agencies in general. But then I saw that you were focusing specifically on creative agencies, which I wasn't getting from anything else. So that's why I joined. And then I got on a call with, I believe I got on a call with Greg first.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah. And he helped me. So he gave me like an outreach strategy, because first thing I obviously have to get clients.
Yeah.
And this is actually the outreach strategy that he gave me was doing Loom videos. So it actually worked pretty well. Like I got my first client through a Loom video, my first like couple clients through Loom videos, just sending them.
How long, do you remember like roughly how long it took you to get your first client, from zero, with that strategy that Greg taught you in the program?
After I joined, I think I got it like less than a month, maybe a month. I don't know.
Do you remember how much that was for? Like what was the retainer?
It started out with just like, it was 500 a month.
Okay.
So it wasn't anything crazy, but like I was just starting out. I had no leverage. I had very little, like my sales were trash. All my skills were like not there yet, but still I managed to land. But the Loom video is different enough to where I could land the clients. So I would like go through their channel and send a Loom video like saying what I would improve. So I was able to land a $500 a month client through that. And after that, yeah, I just kept doing outreach, and I got another. So I had a really good week. I think I sent you the screenshot. Like I had my first really good week where I think I made like 1,500 in the span of 1 week, which was like that was the most money I ever made online at the time.
How did that feel? Like, do you remember? Because I know you said like even when you first joined the group and you saw that other people were like actually doing this, you said it felt like pretty amazing, right? Because before that you were not even sure if this is like actually legit or not or whatever. So do you remember like when you had that first, $1,500 week, how it felt and kind of like the, I guess, mindset or paradigm shift that you went through?
It felt really weird because like on I was in a coaching program before. Like I was, yeah, I spent pretty much all the money that I made. I just reinvested it back into myself. I just reinvested into coaching programs. And that's pretty much the way that I scaled. But when I first made the 1,500, like it felt weird because I was always seeing other people getting wins. Like all these coaching groups have like these wins channels, and people will post like screenshots of them making closing a $2,000 per month deal, or making $10,000 in like an upfront payment. And I just kept seeing these wins, but I wasn't making any money still. And then finally, when I got to like post a screenshot on the wins, it felt really good.
And then where did you go from there? Like after you had that first $1,500 week, I guess, how was your progress going from there? And, aside from the outreach, which was like, obviously outreach was the first problem we needed to kind of solve with you to make sure you're getting calls you can actually close. But then, where did you go after that? And also, what were some of the biggest like learnings, I guess, you had going, let's just say from, 0 to like 5K. And then I know from 5K, you also had like a 8K month. So can you take me through that? Like some of the biggest obstacles, lessons, and how the journey went from there?
I was doing Loom outreach, and I was making like maybe low, like a couple thousand. Like the most I made with that was like a couple thousand a month. I was doing a lot of work. I was working with a couple clients, and I didn't really have much leverage at the time because I was still a beginner in this whole business thing, and I was still learning about YouTube and making my service better. Like that's one of the biggest things that people underestimate. They think they can just sell people and then just like get more clients and not actually like provide a really good service for them and get them results. And they think they can just grow like that, but it ends up falling apart.
Yeah.
So one of my biggest learning points was you need to actually, first you need to like not seem like you're just some random kid who's like trying to sell people on a service. Like you need to actually prove that you really get people results. So part of the shift where I went from like making 0 to a couple thousand to like my best month making 8K was first starting building up my personal brand. That is like extremely underrated. So I have my YouTube channel, and maybe you can pop up a screenshot. Like it's up to like almost 9,000 subscribers now. Like I haven't posted in a very long time because I'm working on something else right now, but I'm gonna try to get back to posting consistently on that channel. But it was an editing channel. So I was basically posting these videos like how to edit like these popular YouTubers like Iman Gaji, like who else? Ali Abdal, all these popular YouTubers. And these videos actually did pretty well. Like I was probably one of the first ones to do that style of video. And now if you look up like how to edit like whatever YouTuber, there's a million videos on it and they all have a ton of views. But I was one of the first ones to do these videos. Based on that success, I actually got really big clients, and I got one really big client who paid me $5,400 per month for,
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the majority of that 8K was from one client, which was really crazy. And it was from my YouTube channel. Like from there, I got none of my clients through outreach. It was all through my YouTube channel. And yeah, but we were editing like crazy level edits.
I remember like at first you were kind of like hesitant on like what to post on the channel, or you know, if it's like worth your time or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I remember, you know, it was like something you were kind of doubting even. And I think I just told you like just go for it. Like even if it's not, you know, necessarily just your target audience, just the fact that you have a channel with subscribers and views is proof of concept for people who will see you, that you can actually, you know, do what you claim that you can do. And I think it turned out to be pretty true. And it's, yeah, I think it was a very, very smart decision to, you know, do that and actually put effort into it. And it's something like I would recommend to everyone that, you know, if you are someone who has some sort of a skill that you can teach people on, just like go ahead and, you know, start building that channel, that Instagram account, whatever it is. Because even if your main goal is to build an agency, like, yes, it's ideal if all your viewers are potential clients for the agency, but even if not, you know, just the fact that you can show that you know how to do this for yourself as well is going to immediately differentiate you from everybody else who's just, you know, writing and outreaching from these anonymous profiles. And yeah, it's also just a numbers game, right? Like you never know who's going to watch your video that will want to work with you. Yeah, what were some of the biggest learnings you had from that, like starting your own personal brand and building that out?
It really separates you. If you're just another anonymous account, you have no social media presence, you have no kind of results, it's going to be extremely unlikely that you land any client that you would want to work with. So that really gave me an advantage when I actually had like a channel with results. I also like was getting some pretty good views on my videos, so that helped me like prove that I can grow other people's YouTube channels. And like it separated me because when you have your own personal brand, you no longer have to only rely on outreaching to other people. Like people actually start coming to you. I managed to work with multiple big channels, like over 200,000 subscribers just from my small, like 5,000 subscriber at the time channel.
Yeah, and some people might think like, you know, 5,000 subscribers is a lot, but honestly, like you don't even necessarily need that much. Even if you just have like really high quality videos, and you know, you just get maybe a few thousand views on some of your videos or whatever, like that's still enough so that it differentiates you from everybody else. Now in terms of like signing a client for 5,400 per month for content, you know, do you have any advice for people who are maybe starting out, you know, who could never imagine themselves closing that big of a retainer now? Do you have any key things that you maybe learned either from the program, working with us and, you know, learning sales from me, or even just like from experience? Yeah, any best piece of advice for sales goals and closing clients?
First of all, when you get on the sales call with them, people think you need to have really good like sales skills, and to be honest, my sales skills still need to improve a lot. I don't claim to be a really good sales rep or salesperson or whatever, but a way that you can make it easier on yourself is, in the first place, when they get on a call, you want to be on in the best position possible. So having the personal brand, having them reach out to you is going to put you in a lot better of a position. And basically like showing your results on social media and having them watch all those results, that's going to be in their head when they're on the call with you. They're going to actually like be much more likely to buy something from you rather than if you like kind of force them to be on a call.
Yeah. And I also always tell this to people that, you know, most people have this belief that those salespeople who are crushing it, they are always super outgoing, they are the loudest, they are fast talking, you know, super slick. And in reality, some of the best people I met in sales are actually very calm, they are very collected and peaceful, so to say, right? Like not super aggressive in their style. And I think even just from listening to this interview, people can definitely get that feel that you're definitely more like of that chilled person, right? Who's like takes things slow and isn't super in your face. And yeah, like you're just living proof that you don't necessarily need to be, you know, like super loud, annoying, fast talking to be able to close deals like that. As long as you ask the right questions and you make the prospect feel really understood right, and you offer a solution that makes sense for them, you can get a deal. Now, you mentioned, showing your results to clients before even getting on a call. What would you say to someone who's watching this and they don't have any results yet? I know you mentioned that when you first started, the reason why you also only signed like $500 only at first was because you are still kind of learning the service, learning how to become better at YouTube, thumbnails, all of this stuff. And I agree with you that you came a really long way since we were first working together. So how did you go about learning the service delivery part of it? And what would be your best advice in terms of like becoming really good at YouTube and video editing and thumbnails, that whole process?
I learned I pretty much learned all of my editing skills through YouTube. Like, it's all on YouTube. There's no information that is on there that is like not on YouTube, basically. Like, you can pretty much learn everything. And also experience is really important. Like, there's some stuff that you can't learn by just watching YouTube videos. You have to actually edit for clients for a certain amount of time before you can actually learn, like, where do I cut here? Like, what kind of animation do I do here? And like, by making these tutorial videos on YouTube, people saw that I was pretty much like teaching other people how to edit in certain styles that were really difficult and not many editors can do. Because one of the biggest struggles that, especially being in the spot where I needed to look for editors, one of the biggest struggles that the creators who you probably want to work with have are actually like finding a good video editor. So they are looking, but they just can't find anyone who is actually like meets their specific needs, because all editors, like 90, maybe 99% of editors are on the same level. Like they don't.
And also really just going for short form.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's really easy to stand out if you just like look at your competitors for like 1 second. You can just like look at the kind of work that other editors are putting out and try to get a little bit better than that at least, and differentiate yourself.
And then also learning at what styles are in demand right now, what do people want, and then actually learning that, right? In terms of the biggest struggles that you were facing before you actually joined the program, what would you say were those? Because I know you said again that you bought a different course as well before that. Maybe with that you didn't get as much like customization, or like like you didn't get to actually hop on calls and necessarily get your stuff reviewed. So yeah, what would you say were like the biggest differences, like being in a program where you have that hands-on experience and you can ask questions directly from people versus not having that?
Yeah, it's like it's completely different when it's like a smaller community, because like you get that one-on-one access and you get that group access, which I think is just so much more valuable than some broad like Hustlers University type like thing. And that's why those groups are kind of usually cheaper, because they do help you. Like it's good to be in like those like monthly groups. As you know, we have like videoeditors.io, which is like a lower ticket monthly group. And the reason why it's lower ticket is because it's valuable, but you don't get as personalized support as like if you were to do a small group and get one-on-one support. So you like really get that one-on-one access and all your questions answered.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I didn't want to like plug this in the interview, but if you guys want to learn also directly from Matten in terms of like video editing, he's actually part of videoeditors.io, our community together. So I'm going to leave like his link to join that program there. So you also get to like support Matten if you join it with that, and also learn from him. He teaches DaVinci Resolve, and he also does like weekly calls there, or not every week, but every month at least. So yeah, anyways, didn't mean to plug that, but just wanted to mention it, because I mean, some of you guys, might be interested in that. But yeah, in terms of like, what are your thoughts, because I know you mentioned that even before you made like any money online, you invested back into like mentorships and courses, or maybe mainly just courses before that, I guess. So what gave you that like perspective and mindset? Was it just that you heard other people who were successful telling you to do this, and you just kind of like, had like that blind faith and just did it, and you just followed through with it? Or where did that come from for you? Because I think that a lot of people, they are very skeptical about it, and they should be, because there's like a lot of very shady online education things as well, especially like copy trading and Forex, and even like some of the Shopify dropshipping stuff. I'm not saying there isn't anything legit in that space, but there's a lot of crap out there, let's be honest. So yeah, what made you kind of like get into the habit of self-education, and what made you believe in it so much that it's going to actually end up working out for you?
I mean, if you think about it like something that you're investing in, that's like new, I guess it seems like you should be a lot more skeptical about it. But really it's just self-educating yourself. It's no different from like spending like tens of thousands of dollars on college. I mean, personally, I'm not going to college, so I would be spending tens of thousands on college. But instead, I'm basically just educating myself online, and even if like the coaching program isn't exactly like what I was looking for, at least I spent that money, and it like gave me a feel to make it back and make more money. Because basically, like, if you don't invest into like some sort of program, it's going to be harder to have that urgency to
I agree. Like, you have more commitment, more skin in the game, right? If you put down some of your hard-earned money.
Exactly.
And also, like, then if you bought something, right, you're gonna be like, all right, I want to make some good use out of this. So like, do you remember, by the way, when you had that 8K month last year? Which month was it?
I believe it was.
Roughly.
Yeah, it was like September, October.
September, yeah. So like, basically, we started from scratch beginning of the year, and then in like 8-9 months you got to an 8K month, which is like, if you think about it, that's pretty remarkable. Because like, regularly with pretty much no previous experience in most jobs, that sort of growth would take you way longer. And I think like something you've done really well is you simply just you join, and then you actually just listen to what we had to say. You asked for feedback on stuff, and you just put your head down and did exactly what you were supposed to do, right? You followed through with it. And I think a lot of people, they might buy something or might join something, and then they will question it. Like, they will question whether it's going to work or not, like have an ego about it. And I think that's something that's really amazing about you, is you never had an ego. And you were always like just doing what you were supposed to do, and you got, great results with it.
Sorry, I just want to make a point, because this is like a big thing that I think a lot of people misunderstand. They think that if they invest in a course, it's just like a magic pill, or like...
No, it's not.
It's definitely not. They're going to give you the information that you need and the personal support, but you still need to put the work in to get there. You're not going to just teleport to 10K a month or whatever. Like,
definitely not. And I think if anybody is telling you like claims like, oh, you can go from 0 to 10K a month with no experience in like 2 months, 3 months, whatever, just don't believe it, because it takes... Like, the thing about, let's say, building a creative agency, like, we've have with Metin, is that it actually requires a lot of different type of skills. So it's like, it's not like you just need to become good at one thing. You actually need to become good at, hiring people. You need to be good at lead generation. You need to be good at sales. You need to be good at offer creation. You need to be good at the actual service, managing a team. And these are all skills that need to be developed over time, and it takes time, right? It's like learning to walk and learning to ride from beginning, pretty much, if you don't have prior experience. So you definitely need to be, yes, you should have urgency, but you need to be patient with yourself. And if anybody's like promising you or telling you that, you just copy your system and do it super easy, super quick, super simple, just don't believe that, because it's usually like, when people join those type of programs, they have a bad experience, right? So that's actually really good that you pointed that out, and I 100% agree with you. Yeah, and even nowadays, right? Like I still join programs, still buy mentorship, and sometimes I pay a lot of money. Like I for example, went to a mastermind from Will Brown that was like 10K for just the weekend, pretty much, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And even there, right? Like the work wasn't done for me or anything like that. I told my problems. I told them what, issues I was facing in the business. They gave me an action plan on like, hey, this is what you should do. But I still have to follow through with it. Just because I paid someone a lot of money doesn't mean like, that they like that's pretty much it. You'll just get clarity. You can get help. You can ask questions, which is going to speed up your time of getting those results a lot. But you still have to put in the work, and it's very hard and it's very boring, especially the outreach part, right? The beginning is like, it's tough. In terms of like your direction now and what you're doing, can you walk us through that a little bit?
What I'm doing now is I'm working very closely with a couple clients and just trying to get them the best results that I can possibly get them. And even if that takes a little more time investment, or I'm not maybe making as much money as I would be able to, I'm basically building connections, and I'm building a foundation for myself to make a lot of money and in a really quick amount of time. So it may not be like I raise my income by 1K a month every month, or like 5K a month or whatever, but it might be that like I'm making not that much, and then all of a sudden in 1 month I shoot up to like 30K a month.
And are you planning to also continue the YouTube channel and put out more content there?
Yeah, I want to start posting. Right now I'm working very hard with my clients, so I don't have a lot of time to post content, but I do want to get back to posting those editing tutorials, because I know a lot of they're highly in demand still. And yeah, hopefully starting an actual like personal brand channel talking more about business and like my specific business journey.
Right. Any last words, any last piece of advice you would like to give to anyone who might be watching this and who's like, kind of in the position you are in maybe just a bit over a year ago when you were starting out and not really sure about what to do?
Yeah. So my advice would be that like, even if you don't have a lot of money in your bank account, sometimes it might take investing that money to basically like give you the fuel to actually like to like start on your business journey and get to the next level of your business. Because personally I've spent over like 13K now on different courses, and like for how much money I made at the time, it was a lot. It was like the majority of what was in my account. So yeah, with that being said, like sometimes it takes you to spend like half of your bank account or even more to really like get started.
So that's what you would actually like, that would be what you would do, is just choose something.
I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but like
yeah, of course. And also, just for anyone who's might be thinking like, oh, Vince told Matt to say this, like,
no,
just confirm I didn't tell you.
No, you didn't tell me to say anything. Yeah, this is legit what I do. This is like my business. It's not. It's like a stupid, simple strategy. It's just like you make money and then you reinvest it back in yourself, and you make more money, and you just, it's like building up knowledge over and over again. You're building up connections. So it's going to compound eventually.
I 100% agree with you, and it's pretty much the same thing I did. And the cool thing is you will eventually get to a point where you're making so much money that you pretty much can't like invest it back into just self-education anymore. And then, you can get other things as well, like investment properties or stocks or whatever you want, or take your family on vacations or all of the above. Well, thank you so much for coming on the channel. And I think people will find this really helpful, especially the little tips you gave around sales as well, and the outreach. So again, thank you for making the time. And if anybody wants to check out Matin's channel, click the link in the description. And also I will link videoeditors.io there as well. And also, if you potentially want to work with me and Greg and join Grow Creatives, I'm also going to leave a link for that in the description, so you can schedule an application call. It is application only. You cannot just go on a website and buy it, because we filter so that only the right kind of fits buy it. But yeah, you can also do that there. So again, thank you, Matin, for joining us today, and best of luck with everything for the future.
Yeah, thank you.